Well, hello everybody. It's Time with Gramps, another Time with Gramps, and tonight's special guest is ADMR 1985, otherwise known as Andy. So Andy, could you tell us a little bit about your channel?
Yeah, well, I started it. I was logged in with YouTube many years ago, but that was just so I could like comment, and I used to do the odd video, but it wasn't anything that was of interest or for any purpose. But then I started last March when I got the drone a little bit after Christmas. I think it was like late January, February. Straight away, just went out, did some footage, and then started really was let's upload it on, because I already had a channel. So I thought, oh, I'll upload a video, and then literally from there, straight away, I just got hooked, and I was just like, oh, I want to do more. So it was that started it off, and then I just wanted to do more and more to do with drone and drone related. Well,
Can you see the chat, Andy?
Just logging now. I've just seen the notification. It's just loading. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we've got it.
We've got Ian Drones in. We've got Jay and Beards Ventures, and he says hello to us. We've got Ellen's HS. She says hi. We've got Robert Stanton in. We've got Jeanette Pickering in. And ADMR is already a moderator. He's just said hello. So if you want to sub to his channel, it's there. All you do is you go over to the three dots, go on his channel and subscribe to him. So Andy,
yeah, I've got it. I can.
Yeah, I see you've said hello to everyone. So Andy, could you tell us a bit about yourself? Because you're only a young man, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to be 33 this year.
Yeah.
YouTube channel probably gives it away because a lot of people actually, some people say it, they go, it's ADMR1985. It's like, no, it's ADMR 1985. Yeah, so I'm Andy, and I'm in England, and I'm near the edge of Derbyshire, and that's generally where I feature a lot of my videos. As you may have seen, I'm quite close to the city of Manchester, and it's not that far really. It's less than half an hour on the train. That's what's so amazing, sort of where I live. I love how it's quite big city, but at the same time, I'm in the middle of the countryside and the hills. I'm a graphic designer, and I work for a company called Swizzles, or Swizzles Matlow. We do confectionery, and that's it. I'm their graphic designer. Yeah, that's kind of the basics, I suppose, for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, anybody wants any graphics doing? Here's the man. Better.
Yeah, well, I know. I mean, I was wondering at some point it would be quite cool, thing like how to create thumbnails, or because I think that's one of the other reasons I loved this channel as well, is it's not just like a flat beige canvas. You can actually, I love doing all my headers. I love doing my thumbnails. You can be quite creative with it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. So. So would you charge any of the people in the chat window if they wanted a new header for their channel, or any advice? But what I would do is, I would tend to do tutorials on everything that you can do, because that's your passion. You know how to do things, and tutorials go down well because there's always somebody looking for something, how to do a thing.
Exactly, and that's what I like doing. Like, I've done a few now, but my wife does say that I should, because there is a lot. I mean, I use graphical software all day, every day, and I really love it. And now I'm getting into the video editing, so I've started to dabble in doing that just to show people how I what would you call it? Not so much my skill, but my kind of style. My style. I show how I videos with my style, and good feedback on that. So it is good to see that.
Yeah, see Barry
learning from
the box says no, but he would like some sweets, please.
Yeah.
Crimson Fantasy says hello, everybody. A bird in the hand says evening all. So if you haven't subbed to ADMR 1985 yet, Andy, go over and sub to his channel. Don't forget to hit that like button, please. I've got 14 watching, and I've only got 5 likes. That is disappointing. so Andy, have you always lived in England? Because I believe you're Polish. You've got a Polish name, so your parents must have come out.
It was from my great-grandparents. It was all to do with the war. And I find all that side of things fascinating. I love the history. I love watching films to do with it. I've only got one grandparent left now, but the little bits I've heard of, I'm really sort of proud on hearing what they did. And I wouldn't be here if they didn't do what they did. But yeah, so they came over after the Second World War. Both my parents were born here, met in Manchester, and they continued the Polish name, but a lot of people know me. But yeah, if they see my Facebook name or in an email, it can throw people off a bit, especially if they hear me talking. I don't sound Polish at all.
No, you don't. Yeah. Well, this is it. Because when you sent me the message and I looked at the name, I thought, well, Polish, but he don't sound Polish, because I did watch your interview with Patrick Conlon about 6 months ago, I think it was. October.
Probably,
yeah. When was it? September, October time. So it'd be about 4 or 5 months ago. Yeah, which was the first time I'd seen you on camera. Because
possibly.
Yeah, because at the moment you don't do any live streaming, do you?
No, and I didn't have many views on this certain video. It was my end of year one last year, a Christmas one, but I did mention in it, I think I will look at it, is to look at doing some live videos, because I think I like the idea of maybe doing a live edit. If I can do that, I think that'd be really cool, because then I'm basically be like an online free tutorial for people. Be cool.
Yeah, you can do that through OBS, Open Broadcasting.
Right, yeah. I need to learn. This is all a bit like foreign to me. This, like, hearing like OBS. I don't know anything about it. But
yeah.
I'm really interested about
OBS tutorials on YouTube. There's that many. It's easy. I've learned a lot from the stuff that I watch on YouTube. It's nearly everything that I've learned, not on the editing side, because on the editing side, I've been in video since 1989, when video first came out.
Wow.
I used to do weddings and commercial work and everything like that. It's just that back in those days, it was a jog shuttle dial on the SVHS recorders, and the first camera I ever had was a Panasonic. I can't remember the number of it now, but it was a separate camera with a separate recorder. So you had to, the recorders were ever so big and heavy, and the cameras were, and they were just ordinary VHS. And you look at the quality now, what people have got. Fantastic. I just wish I'd had a computer that you could edit with in those days, but there wasn't. It was just going through a mixer, jog shuttle dial. You had a title different and everything like that. I spent thousands of pounds on gear, and you look at it all redundant. now. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I bought a DVD recorder so I could then put me tapes to DVD, and that's obsolete now. That I spent £3,000 on SVHS video recorders, and they're all redundant now because it's all done on a computer.
I know. I mean, it's and you think about it, it's like I like even though I'm only going to be 33 this year, so much change with tech. Even from a graphic view of when I was at uni, I was still hand drawing back in uni. And today now I use Illustrator and Photoshop. Straight away, you just got to do everything and really fast as well. You know, you can't take a lot of time on it. And it's something I've utilized. And again, it's like your mobile phone you take for granted sometimes, but that's got some great stuff on it. You use it now and again in some videos. And it's not even that new. It's an X, which is quite a few years old now, but sort of do little things on that. Like time lapses are great. And I did a time lapse just iPhone 6 video.
Hello,
so what you can do.
I'm just saying hello to a few in there. Hello, Jane.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Jeanette Pickering is taking care of me chat because I know you're all on there, and I'll say hi to you. And I'll interrupt Andy from time to time because it's necessary to keep up with the people in the chat window. Hello, Random Life Productions. Nice to have you in here, and it was a lovely live stream of yours earlier on. So,
hi everyone.
Anybody got any questions for Andy out of the chat window? Anybody like to know anything else about Andy?
Yeah, fire away.
Yeah. So
as long
Andy,
as it's not too.
Yeah. So
yeah.
You mentioned you got a wife. Have you got any family besides?
Yeah, so I've still got my mum because my dad passed many years ago now. Actually, we've ended up quite a small family because we've got one parent, and then I have got a brother and a sister. They're both older than me. And yeah, so I married my wife just last June, and which is when I did that GoPro honeymoon video, which kind of opened my eyes to what you can do with a GoPro. It's the first time I've used one.
Yeah.
So it's quite a small family.
Yeah. So I see you've got a question from J&B's Adventures. He wants to know what got you into the drones.
Oh yeah. Oh, do you know what? Well, actually, it was my wife. What happened? It's a bit of a funny story. I'd heard, and I hadn't heard of, and I'm sure everyone or quite a lot of people will have heard of a guy called Casey Neistat. He's really into his drones. Now, it was just before last Christmas. We were looking quite a lot more at sort of his drone videos. I, thought of where I was going to be in a year's time with this, but I thought it'd be fun to get her because she was quite obsessed with this Casey and his drones. I got her this cheap SEMA, I think it was called. It's like a little quadcopter, and it had a little. You could look at it live, but the quality was terrible. Be a bit of fun, so I got it for Christmas, and it was really hard to fly because it was manual, not like these ones that I use and a lot of people now with GPS. It was a manual one. Basically, what happened was on the second time we took it out near the house, it fell in the river. It crashed it in the river, and I was like, then I thought, right, this is an excuse to get something decent now. So I looked at it and I thought, right, I can afford to get what was the cheapest thing at the time, which was the DJI Phantom 3 Standard, to get it for the two of us because she was so into his drone videos, Casey. I just totally with drones really and became obsessed straight away because I was like, wow, this thing is amazing in what it can do. how it all happened, really. It was because we ended up crashing a present I bought her, and I got into it after that. Yeah, that's how it happened.
I've watched quite a lot of your videos today. You know,
Yeah.
the one I like the most is the viaduct. I thought you've got some brilliant footage on that.
Oh, the one with the train.
Yeah. I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
Was the one that changed at that point. That's when I looked a lot more professional, and then that's when I did my editing tutorial on Hamatic Effect, because I think at that point I was like, wow, this is the best video I've done. I spent ages on it. Really good, all the filters and effects, and yeah, I still like that video. I sometimes go back and watch some of them.
Yeah. Oh, that's something I always do, because by going back, you can see the mistakes you made. I mean, all right, I know I've been filming for a long time, but I do make a lot of mistakes now because I'm getting older. You know, I mean, when I was a bit younger and I was doing the weddings and things like that, I never shot my feet. You know, I'd always make quite sure I'd hit that stop button on the record, stopped, and then I'd move. Now, if I'm doing something, I often forget to hit that stop button, and I'm continuing filming, and then I get to the next shot that I want, and I hit the stop button, and I think, it's not recording, why? And I've recorded maybe 5 or 10 minutes of just me walking along, especially when I'm going out doing wildlife videoing, you know, and yet I never used to do that.
Yeah, I love, the other thing is I love looking back at this. I think after I've been on here a year, which will be this coming March, is to look back at one of my early videos and sort of seeing how I've changed, how things have changed. And it's amazing, because I remember when I first did my first couple, I thought to myself, wow, these are amazing, decent. But to where I am now and what I've learned, it looks like a totally different person's done these videos. Part really of also being on here, I'm into other drone people, and I basically just sharing each other's knowledge and learning myself. And now I'm like at a stage where I put mine and be like, oh, how do you do this? Or wow, you can do that. And that's what's so good with this. And I didn't think I'd be doing anything like this a year ago.
Yeah, I'm just going to say hello to our speech, Andy, because he says good morning to me and you.
Hello, everyone.
It's good evening. Ward's idea, bird in hand. How are you, brother? So they're all talking. Jeanette's still looking after the chat for us. So Andy, what camera do you mainly use when you're filming your B-roll stuff? Is it the GoPro?
It's this. It's a Canon GX7. G7X even.
What nice camera.
And it's quite good. I mean, I've put this on the top to try and help with sound, but it's still quite echoey. And the good thing about this is it does have that, so I can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Now this was my wife's camera, but I basically use it a lot of the time now. Like I've mentioned in my recent video, I think I'm gonna have to start investing money into things.
Yeah, but it's not the quality of the gear; it's your creativity. That's what I was always told, because when I first started in videoing, the one thing that I was told was that your eyes don't zoom, your eyes blink when you move position. So don't record that movement unless you've got something in the viewfinder in scene that is moving. Then you automatically move along with your subject. But to move like that, and all right, I watch a lot of videos on here, especially these people that have got 30, 40, 100,000, 2 million subscribers, and you look, none of them really have got basic camera skills, because they're all over the place. And I watched one just before I came on with you, and the movement, it made me seasick. you know. But yeah, they're only young, and they've got like 352,000 subscribers. She's only 23, and she's a vlogger, travel vlogger. And I thought to myself, well, wait, how did they get away with it? But it's what the young ones want, you know. I mean, I look in my analytics and I see that most of the ones that follow me are in the age group of 50 to 70, you know. I've got very few people following me, but as I learned from looking at analytics and looking at other YouTube videos, that the people who you should be aiming for are the middle-aged ladies, because they will watch more time. They stick with the channel longer than the younger people. So you know, it's just something that you learn as you pick up.
Yeah, it is, and I've looked myself, and for me, yeah, it's not the, like you're saying, it is true about the younger. I do the same. I've watched, and I've said this to my wife as well. I've watched some. I think to myself, oh my gosh, how have they got so many followers? It's like the videos are terrible. But as you say, it's a younger group now. For me, it's more people in the late 20s to sort of 50s, really. So it's quite a big gap. But
see what Rand put on. I got a younger fan base because I'm gorgeous. Yes, you are. hello, Andre, and the big red bear. Hello, and Tony got to Video Footage Studio. Good evening to you. Yeah, so but it's fascinating if you look at your analytics.
Yeah,
the age group that you know views more of your videos. I mean, I was watching Roberto Blake, who's a Tube Buddy bloke who gives Tube Buddy videos out, and and he was saying tonight that his age group is the most is 35 to 50 females, and then 65 and over who follow him. The young ones, he's only got 3% of younger viewers.
Yeah, and I think
if you look at your view time, his view time was more women stay longer watching videos than men do.
Right, and it's like I've just seen there a bird in the hand said, and it's true. Who is going to want? I don't think in my sort of time on YouTube, I don't want to hit the hundreds and thousands of subscribers, because, like he's put there, I prefer active followers rather than silent subs. I think that's really sort of true for me, as well as I want people, as I've mentioned in a lot of my videos, really. So I like the active side of it, and I like to try and comment to everyone who comments. And I feel that when you get big, people lose that personal touch.
Yeah. Hello, Thorn Draven and Variable. Nice to have you in on this one. The Big Red Bear says my fan base is mostly Americans. Well, you've got a few English fan base here, because there's me, there's Jeanette, there's Pixie. Sorry, Andy.
Sorry. I think mine is very 50-50 between Americans and the UK, but the majority is Americans. But I think that's because they're really into the drones. I'd say it's something like, I think maybe at least about 60% of mine is Americans. So it's funny because usually I got a lot of my comments when I'm in bed. So.
yeah, that's it. That's right then, because that's the American time, you know.
Yeah.
It's. I watched. I don't know whether you follow Brad's Drones, do you?
Oh, I don't know Brad's Drones. It doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, a brilliant channel. He's got over 2,000 subscribers, but he did one on Owen Williams, because Owen's only a young lad. I don't know whether you follow it.
But yes, I do. Yeah, because I've seen an interview with him.
absolutely brilliant young man, you know, and he's a fantastic cinematographer with the drone, you know, and Brad really pushes his channel on his channel, you know, because, you know, he's only a young lad and he wants all the help he can get to grow his channel.
I mean, I feel a little bit like I started this maybe a little bit late. Do you find like by my age, the current YouTubers, they've been on it even a good 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But I'm going to continue with it as long as I can. If I slow down a bit in the future because, you know, get a family and things, then that's fine. But to just keep going and
yeah, well, what people don't realise, Andy, about YouTube is that you can put up all these videos, and it's a time capsule of people of our of this time period, and for the next 10, 20 years when I won't be around. But when you look at it, you know, YouTube now, all the footage on YouTube, what you can make, you know, because I mean, it's in the public domain, unless they particularly say copyright. Anybody can use that and create a video, you know, because I mean, the community that I've got, I asked them if they'd all go up with a drone one day, a particular day, and get about 25 of us in it, and then do droning on a day around the world. And like we all send each other the footage or put it up to YouTube privately. You take it off and then we all edit it, and you would see the different ways we would edit things.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that in a couple of your live ones, and I think I've always said I think that's quite a cool idea, and I would definitely try and be part of it.
Yeah, this is a problem. It's getting. We'll have to wait till the spring when the weather's good, and then I will try and arrange about 25 of us or 30 of us in it. I'll then do a, you know, you've got to edit it down to about a 20-minute video with music, maybe a commentary if you want, or do whatever you want. And then we all put it up the same day, and we all have a look at each other's videos.
I think that's really cool because you're going to get a totally different look on it, and at the same time, it means we've all got something to do. We've all got different content. Yeah, that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I'm just going to say hello to Jacob Scott. Good evening, and Pauline's just living. Hello, it's nice of you to drop in. And Kev74, nice to have you in here. So I'm getting away from this interview, aren't I? You know, I've lost me track of questions now.
Yes.
So you say you started late on YouTube, because most of the young ones now, they're the ones with the bigger channels.
Exactly. Yeah,
because you look at them, they've got the experience of computers. But then you get people like Random Life Productions, Pixie's channel, myself. Well, I've grown. I've got over 1,200 subscribers in the last year.
I think when I started to follow you, I was trying to think when we first sort of who met who, but I think you had under 1,000 at that time.
Yeah. And it's a case of
that's amazing.
Yeah, the more you work at it, but I still don't think I put up my content isn't right yet. You know, I'm still looking at different ways of evolving my channel. I mean, this side of it, the interviews, I love interviewing people. I love talking to people. But the hardest part is,
I think it's good,
is arranging a time that is suitable for who I'm interviewing. You know, and I've got some good ones lined up, but the problem is it's arranging them, especially if they're American and they're on the West Coast. They're 8 hours behind. So most of that time is a weekend when I can do it with them. You know, if they're on the East Coast, they're only 5 hours. So it's a case of, you know, 5 hours isn't a lot. 10 o'clock, it's tea time there, so you can do it.
Yeah.
Old Mucker's on. Hello, Old Mucker. Yeah. And Owen says, I don't have many subs, but get on average 300 views each video. Yeah, it's not about the subs, Owen. It's it's about the views and whether you are getting the same people coming back and leaving you comments.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Who have sleep. No, I'm not going to start that. Definitely not random. No, I'm going to do a what's the name who you introduced me to earlier on, Laurie, Faithful. I'm going to start doing that. That my subs will go down then, but my views might be.
I did. I think it was one of these where I couldn't sleep, and I was watching. I think one of your live chats with someone in America. It was gone past midnight, and I was watching it.
Yeah. Oh, that's something. As you get older, and mind you, people suffer it when they're younger. But
yeah,
I often, I go to bed about midnight-ish or just after. I wake up at 3 o'clock and I can't get back to sleep. So I often put YouTube videos on then. And the ones I watch are the live streams.
yeah.
And I'll have my phone if I want to go on, and I'll put a comment. But when I go on my phone, because I can't see in the middle of the night, I often make mistakes. So often I just listen. But that's a good title. Falling to Sleep with the Eagle. Yeah, that's it. I like that. You're getting the old brain working again.
Falling asleep. Oh, brilliant.
but it's a case of, the older you get, the less sleep you want. So you do tend to, I watch quite a few of the live streams during the night.
Yeah, I'm sort of quite obsessed now that that's probably half the reason why I don't sleep, is because I end up going to bed and going on YouTube. So,
yeah, and your mind's working. That's the problem. You're not relaxing, are you?
No, and the thing is, that's one of the things, because I have a really bad memory. I use my notes on my phone because I'm usually in bed and I'm thinking, right, what do I want to do this weekend? What am I going to try and, what can I try and film if it's dry weather? Or if it's not, what can I look at doing? And what can I do in the evenings? And my mind's just always active. And I've noticed that's one thing. The more I've done this, and it even reflects in that I do upload once a week now. Than that, but when I first, a year ago, I was like, I'll do maybe like 10 videos a year. But it's
just doing one a week, Andy, is something. But you want to get it if you want your channel to grow. You've really got to do something every 2 days. It don't have to be drone related. It could, as you said, it could be tutorials on software. It could be 1 day a week live streaming, because live streaming, it is if you are preparing a live stream, which a lot of people don't. I mean, I don't know whether you follow Mel. He's a guy from Brooklyn. I think it's Brooklyn, New York. Mm-hmm. He's a very, very deep thinker. He comes out with some fascinating topics, and beauty on a budget. I'm just naming a few channels that you get beauty on a budget. I mean, she did a video on kindness the other day. Absolutely fantastic. She brilliant. And then she does the beauty tips, like Pauline. Pauline's Just Living. Fantastic channel. Fashion, leather, dogs, live streaming. And our Gail, Random Life Productions, has just come back from her place. So, and meetups with fellow YouTubers. That's another thing. Brilliant. I met up with Pixie, Jeanette, Random, Quadcopter, Video Footage Studios, Tony, and I'm planning on doing a lot more when the good weather comes. Like, I'm going to come over to yours and we'll have a day out.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for when the weather gets better. I can't. I've only been out once in the last sort of 6 weeks with the drone, just because there's just not been decent weather for it.
Yeah. I'm just saying Steve's vlogs. Hope you're well, Steve.
Hello to all the new people.
Yeah. So if you haven't subscribed to Andy, Can you put a comment in, Andy, again, and then they can find your channel?
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget to sub to each other. There he is. Hello, Greg 33770. It's nice. Weather's great. Yeah, I bet you're in Australia.
Yeah.
I can't remember where Greg is. So, what else was I going to ask you now? So, have you always been interested in filming or creating things?
Yeah. And a lot of that comes from my dad, really. He was always into his arts. He used to draw a lot of he used to do a lot of paintings, some of them like really big, like AO size pictures, which all hand done, that my mum still has in her house. I've got the odd thing of his here. Well, that was a big part of sort of his life, really, was sort of art. And that's where it started off with me. And so it rubbed off on me, and he was always getting us to like draw, and I was always making things. I love like making things as well and fixing things. But that kind of creative side of things, I actually put that in my CV when that I like fixing things, because I do. I remember even at the end of high school when I went to college, I did art and design technology, because I knew straight away I wanted to get into that field. And then when I went to uni, I did design. So I have always had, I suppose, like a creative flair, or like a keen eye for things, and photography as well. Like, I don't do enough of that, and I feel like I would like to. I've done one video on recently when I went to Manchester, and I took some pictures just using my phone, but I remember when I got my first camera at uni, which back then a digital camera was amazing, and the screen was tiny, a really small little screen, and pictures up to, I think it was that. Oh gosh, I mean, I think it was like 480 by 640. I can't remember now, but like that kind of thing, which, you know, at the time that was decent. I probably paid about 300 quid for that, but take pictures when we were out for the weekends, maybe with the family. Used to go like for a lot of walks and stuff in the countryside and visit things, and he's taking pictures. And when I showed people them, they're always like, "Wow, your pictures look amazing." I realised that I just naturally had quite a keen eye for things, and so I developed that into, I suppose, like a sort of graphics way, and it helps really. I think people have said, you know, you've got quite a keen eye when you're doing your video editing, because it can, photography or editing photos is kind of, you can tie it in with editing your footage as well.
Yeah. So in your videos then, do you often color correct, or
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I do it's amazing like what a difference color correction or color grading, as people say it. Again, when I did my very first, or I think my second video with the drone, I didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever, even when I do a video of just me in here talking, or like a vlog style video, I'll always color grade. I think it just makes them look much nicer.
Yeah. Darwin Droning's got a question there for you, if you'd like to answer it.
Yeah, I do. Well, it's not a very fancy filter, but I use a CPL lens, a circular polarizing filter, on mine, which I think does help. And I use manual settings as well with my drone. I used to use automatic, but then I ended up using manual with the lens, and oh, it's like I've never turned back since. But that's all I have. I've been looking at other lenses, but there's no point in me forking out on something better now, because I want to look at upgrading the drone as soon as I can afford one.
And which
when
one
I do get something, well, I was looking at getting the Air, but I'm hearing bad things about the signal. So, and I've also heard that the Mavic might be bringing out a 2, announcing maybe this spring. So I'm keeping my eye out on that, because I'm thinking to myself, well, I can't afford anything now anyway, but let's save. It comes out, maybe I can try and get like the latest tech. As soon as I've waited this long, I'm hoping if they do bring out a Mavic, then I'll get that this summer, a Mavic 2. I might look at just getting the Mavic Pro. Yeah, I think I would like to get something like a Mavic-based one. Having that compactness,
yeah,
is a big selling feature now for me. I have loved the Phantom 3, but just getting it, folding it, and being able to just put it in a bag.
Yeah, that's the only problem with the 3 Series.
Yeah,
you've got problems carrying it around.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've got my my bag here, which it's huge, but but it's good. But it is quite a big thing to have. And having something basically probably less than a quarter of the size of that, and it can produce better footage, a big selling point.
Yeah, it is. And anybody else got any questions for young Andy here? I'd appreciate that.
As long as they're not too private.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no. So, how long have you been in that job at the sweet?
4.5 years now. I'm sort of looking to stay really now. I really enjoy it. I think I eventually found for years because I've had a few graphical jobs before then. A bit more producty based actually before this, but I really like working there. It's like a family run business as well, and I feel that you are looked after. There's a bit more sort of bit more one-to-one there.
Yeah,
but, yeah, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, I really watched the video you did on their place, which I thought,
oh, the mill.
Yeah, fascinating. I used to many years ago. I used to do when I first retired a courier job. I worked for a local courier for a couple of days a week, and I often went there, delivered there. Yeah, so I know where it is. And Jeanette asked earlier on, where are you from again, Andy?
So I'm. It's from the edge. I mean, a lot of people won't really know the area because it's really small. I mean, it is called Strines, but a lot of people have probably heard of things like New Mills or Marple, which is at the edge of Stockport. But it's basically it's on the border. Like if I come out of my estate and do a left, that's Derbyshire.
Yeah.
Whereas if I come out of my estate or where I live, it's Cheshire.
Yeah.
So order, it's really weird. Like I just come out the estate and I'll see a sign saying "Welcome to Derbyshire," and so, but I'm actually down as a Cheshire postcode. But yeah, for me, it's more. I'd say I probably spend most of my time in Derbyshire.
And Jeanette says, "What other hobbies have you got then, Andy?"
Probably taking up a lot more of my time, but another thing that I'm really interested in is I am interested in cars a lot, but I don't have anything fancy at the moment. But I am really into cars and also sort of the photography side of it. When I got into photography, I used to love going out and taking pictures of like my car, like in the countryside, and doing really arty shots. I used to really enjoy that. The other thing is, occasionally I have like drawn some like t-shirt designs. I've done things like that in my own time. And then my other thing is I'm going to try and get into a bit more this year is like more, not proper mountain biking, but where I live, it is quite sort of mountain bike friendly. The only problem is going up and down. I'm in like a valley, so it's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, have you got the GoPro for that?
Yeah. Well, yeah. We've got the little. This is something else I sort of want to upgrade, really.
Yeah.
I thought this was amazing. Like when I first got it, and it's still really good. I mean, you can get the 6 now, and there are so many more better features with that. But we've got various kind of things that you can attach with that. So, and I have always wanted to do a bike ride with the GoPro either strapped to my head or maybe my chest or on the bike. So that's something I'm probably going to do at some point, maybe like a time lapse.
Yeah, and hello, Mills and Millie, nice to have you in. Jeanette says, are you into football? And if so, who do you support?
Well, I used to be, but then I lost touch with football. Once I hit uni, I kind of completely lost touch with it. Now, I used to support Manchester United. I'm just not that interested anymore. The only thing I follow football-wise now is when it's things like the World Cup or the Euro. I still really enjoy that, and it's quite exciting. But normal football now, I'm not like a typical guy. I've totally lost touch with it. Like, I don't know any names and stuff like now. I'm like more like you kind of Andy Cole and like more your Shearer and Eric Cantona era. That's when I was really into it.
Yeah, same as me. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I
Top Music says hello to us. Who else?
Hello.
Yeah, old Mucker's still in. Pauline's gone because she's gone to have a look at some of your videos.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and because I noticed that when you started your channel about 7 years ago, the first 2 videos you put in were cars.
Yeah, exactly. And at the time, it's because I was really into my cars and used to spend a lot of money on them. This is when I was single, lived at home, and I had my camera, which is what I spent my most money on, apart from a car back then. So that's when, and I was part of like the kind of, I used to be on a lot of forums. Well, I say a lot of forums, actually one main one. And yeah, that's, I didn't use it for anything serious, YouTube. It was just because I wanted to upload a video. Yeah. And like I was saying, so when I very first got the drone, I just wanted to get this video out there to share to people. So I was like, oh, I've got an account, I'll put it on there. And then because I'd already started it, I was like, right, this is my basis to start my channel on. I didn't really have any subscribers back then. A year ago, I had something like 4, and they weren't anyone that was active. They were probably there for a random reason.
Yeah. Well, it's like myself. I started on YouTube in 2007, and I just used to do videos, perhaps 3 or 4 videos a year. And it wasn't until last year that I really started and worked on my channel, because I thought to myself, I'm fed up. I've got nothing to do. So I've got all day. So why don't I go out and project things? And that's when I got into it. Aussie Mark's here. Hello, Mark. Good day to you, friend.
I was wondering what James has put. Did he say he likes to carve? I can't think what I was trying to say. I like to carve.
Yeah. Well, this is it. You know, I mean, you said you're handy at everything. So what type of what type of vehicle have you got now then, Andy?
Oh, I've just got an old VW Golf that has an oil leak and an engine management light on. So, yeah, nothing fancy. I'd love to have an Aston Martin. That's probably that, or something like an Italian a hypercar is my thing, like a Pagani Zonda.
Yeah.
And my goal in life is to have something like an Aston Martin.
Hello, AKA. I'm alive. Well, it's like my grandson. He's got a Ferrari Spider.
Oh.
Yeah, and just think, 5 years ago, he had nothing, and he played football. He was doing well playing football, and then he got a cruciate ligament injury.
Right, yeah.
He went from that and learned to play poker, and he's number 1 in the UK on winnings. He's about 8th in the world now with his winnings.
My God.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. But he's always been that way. He's always been a gambler, because when he was a young child, his parents used to live next door to a pub, and he was going to the pub, and he knew when the bandit used to drop, but he couldn't play it. So when he was 18, he was going to the pub, play the bandit when it was ready to drop, and always win. So they barred him from going in the pub. But from there, he got a plumber's job, and then he decided to play poker when he got this football injury, and he's done ever so well since he started playing.
That's amazing. The best I did. Oh, sorry, go on.
Only the same. I think he's, what is he? 31, 32 now.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I've not got great luck when it comes to things like I've tried. I did a little bit of using Betfred to do online like poker and stuff, but I lost £10 just like really fast. It's like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore.
I'm not a gambler. Hello, Food Forest Permaculture. Nice to have you in. And
hi,
welcome
everyone.
to my channel and welcome to my streams. And I don't know whether you follow Keith and Abby of AKA Our Life. They put a video.
Oh yes, I think I have watched some of their videos.
Yeah, they've just put a new outro onto their video. You know, really cool. You know,
I like the concept of their channel.
Yeah, because you know, I love to see married couples or couples doing vlogging together. You know, because I mean, it's like she's not interested in video at all. You know, she hates me when I film her. And whenever we used to go on holiday, she always used to be miles in front because I was always filming her.
Yeah, that's what I was a bit like. Well, this is what I'm like now. Like on our honeymoon, this is the good thing. There's my wife. She loves all kind of videography and photography, but I'm always falling behind because I'm always like, well, I get the GoPro, right, I'll do it now, and I'm like that all the time now. I just have to stop, and I'm like, right, I'll capture that, and right, we've got to film this.
Yeah. Well, this is you know, it's caused a lot of conflict. You know, it's like now because I go on my computer and I'm busy doing things. She moans left, right, and centre. She says, "No, I want to go out, so I've got to pack it in and go out." You know, but to have a wife like Keith and Abby, or a couple like Keith and Abby, you know, where they both work together. And I think that's brilliant, you know, and they do rub off each other, you know. They're very creative, very decent bloggers. That they've met up with a few fellow YouTubers in their circle, and I think the content they put up is brilliant, and they deserve a lot more subscribers.
I was thinking that when I looked, I thought, they deserve to be getting more views than what I've seen. And I think that of a lot of people who I follow, I can't believe when I look at some of them. Like, and not to sort of blow my own trumpet, but I know I've progressed quite a lot, and I've got to a good standard now. When I watch some other people's, I look and I think, how am I getting more views? I mean, maybe I don't know if it's just because I use the right tags and the descriptions, which is possible, but some people's videos are absolutely amazing, and they just don't get the following.
Well, it's the way YouTube promote them, innit? You know, the thing is because we're only small YouTubers, YouTube really do not promote our videos long enough, you know, because if you put your video up with YouTube, if you haven't had, say, 30 views in that first hour, they won't promote you. They don't promote you, you know. And unless you press that bell button when you subscribe to a channel, you never get notifications, because YouTube don't put all your subscribers' videos up to you. They only put a percentage, and it is only a very small percentage. So when I subscribe to any channel, I always press that bell. So
I see what you mean.
Notification straight away on my phone comes up that they're on. So if I'm around and I can watch the videos, I'll watch them. If not, I'll watch them later on.
And one thing is, I remember, I think when I was looking stuff up not that long ago, going like, why maybe, like, why don't I get many views and things like this. You do need, you were mentioning the 30. Now, I think the rule I know is in the first 48 hours, if you don't get 100 views, basically you'll never get seen. And I've had a couple of videos like that where even in the last, say 6 months, it's only had 136 views because it just didn't get that 100 views in the first 2 days. And if it doesn't get the first 100 views in the first 2 days,
no, well, it's like a friend of mine who I support, Graham Barker. his channel. He's only got about 600 odd subscribers, but when the Panasonic FZ82 came out, he field tested it because he's a wildlife videographer. He went out and he's had what, 62,000 views on that review of the Panasonic FZ82. And I think, God, hell, you know, and there was plenty of reviews on it before he put his review on. Absolutely great.
Yeah.
A friend who I always used to take to the States with me, he filmed Roy Rogers Museum. It closed down quite a few years ago. He put that up and he's had, I think, about 80,000 views on that.
Wow.
You know,
yeah, I think
it's surprising that you can put something up and it gets the views, and other things that you put up where you produce something and you don't get the views. You know, it really, that's back to the analytics of YouTube.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is crazy.
Boss News says it depends on what you put in tags. What little
it does, and that's what I was saying. Yeah, I think now, well, I'd say now, I mean, I've probably done it for nearly the last 6 months, but I still try, and tags do seem to be quite important. Now, another thing that's really important, but it doesn't always work for me, but again, I think it's because, like you said, Keith, we because we're small, we don't really get much recognition. But if you title the first line of your description and your tags use the same wording, then you've got a much greater chance. If someone search, like say for like for me, for example, like Cornwall drone videos, then I've got a much higher chance. Now, weirdly, when I first did that featurette, that really long Cornwall drone video, it got good views in the first couple of days.
Yeah.
So and when I looked, it was ranking quite high, my tags, but now I'm lucky if I get a couple of views a day, you know, like, so it's dropped right down.
Yeah. Everyday Visuals, Alex is in the room. Hello, Alex. Mark Allen's in the room. Nice to have you in, Mark. So we've had some good visitors in here. You know, I think the most that we've had in is about 23, 24 viewing, which is very good for me.
Yeah, I saw 23 before. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So, and they're all subbing to each other, which is good. It's
that's what it's about.
You know, so are you interested in music at all then, Andy?
You know, I've lost touch with a lot of music now. If anything, I probably know more about what's available on the YouTube free music more now. But I still like all my I'm very much into kind of rock music, indie rock. I like sort of a lot of instrumental type stuff. But I'm quite open really with music.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's just asked where am I from. So I'm from the UK. I'm in England. I'm near Derbyshire. You might know Derbyshire more. Yeah,
beautiful part of the UK, Derbyshire. Some wonderful places to film, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a lot, and luckily I don't think there's much issues with flying drones around Derbyshire.
If you can get out in the country to these places, you know, so I agree on that. Where I live in Cleethorpes, there's not a lot of places of interest here. So
where is it you're from?
Cleethorpes.
Whereabouts is that?
Do you know Hull?
Yeah.
Yeah, the opposite side of the River Humber to Hull.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Grimsby fish. You'll have a fishman come round your area from Grimsby, selling fish from a van more than likely, because Derbyshire's a good fish eating area. Yeah, you know. So so what? I'm about Stockport's about what, 2.5 hours away.
Oh yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah. It's like York is about an hour and a half. To get to York easily. Actually, it takes a good hour and a half probably from here. Yeah,
about the same from here, York. So
good 3 hours.
York, You're only about what 40 minutes from Sheffield, aren't you?
Yeah. About 45 minutes.
Yeah. So we'll have to meet up at Pixie's house, or I'll pick Pixie, and we'll come over to yours when we make a weekend of it.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, and talking of that in a way, I've got a few names I've made a list of again because my memory's bad. I remember to make a list so I can remember when the weather gets better. I've had a few people now, and there's someone quite local to me I found who's just bought a Parrot DJI drone, which is a bit more like a glider.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And he lives not far, I found, from me. He's only a 10-minute drive. So it's just crazy in the world of YouTube. I found someone 10 minutes down the road.
Yeah. Well, it's like when Tony was over the other weekend, the other Monday, Quadcopter Video Footage Studio, we went down to the Fitties to fly the Mavic, and there was 2 droners there who I'd never met. Pegasus Drone Media, he's got a channel, Chris, and then Sai, and they're both commercial pilots.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Chris has got the Unique H520, and Sai's got the Inspire 2, I think it was. Also the Mavic Pro, so absolutely brilliant guys. And I follow both of those now, and they follow me, so Chris is going to do some live ones, Pegasus Drone Media. He asked me how to do live, so I told him. So we had a private one, and he did well. So he reckons he was going to go live. Richard lives near Bolton, so there's Lancashire we can go to in the summer and go meet up, because I'd love to meet up with the ones. Bosnia just sub to you as well.
Oh, thanks. I've just seen as well, I think, there we go, near Bolton. Yeah, Darwin, I think it is. Richard, 40 minutes, probably 40 minutes from me.
Yeah. See, so I mean, this is it. If we had good weather all the time, we could meet up every other weekend or whatever and get out and do collabs,
Yeah, I do want to try and do some collaborations this year. Like I said, I have got a few names down already of people who aren't too far for me to get started. But I'd really like to do that, because at least then when I'm talking loads about drones, I'm not going to bore them. So.
Yeah. Well, this is it. This is why I try to. Thank you, Bosnia. I'll buy a beer. I'll tell you what though. To meet up with fellow YouTubers is ever so rewarding, because you throw your ideas about, and being creative. I mean, besides droning, I would love to make, and I've said this before on my channel, that I would love to get so many involved again, say 20, 25 or whatever, and make a film of your one day in your life.
That'd be cool.
And we all do it the same day.
Yeah.
Upload it privately, and then send the links out, and then edit each other's footage like the drone footage, because anything like that, or any ideas where we could really collab.
Someone's leaving.
Food. Thanks a lot for dropping in, Food Forest Permaculture. Really appreciate that, and that you've subbed and smashed thumbs up. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool idea. It's like a virtual way of collaborating as well, doing something like that. So even if you're from different parts of the world, you don't have to meet up. By doing that, we're kind of joining together, and also it's sort of helping each other's channels as well. It's spreading into each other's channels. And if someone's interested in your stuff, then you're gonna sort of expand your followers as well.
Yeah. Because as we say, it's not about the subscribers. It's creating content that people will watch, and you look into your analytics that most people who watch my videos, my watch time's about 3 minutes 15 seconds, and that's it. So it's like when you go to the cinema and you watch a film, it's done in 10-minute sections, as I was always told. You know, you start with you start with the introduction to your film or your video. Then you've got the middle section, which is your main section, whatever it's about, and then a 5-minute end section. And that's the way filmmakers work. It is a challenge, because I always like throwing challenges out, especially to those people in the chat window. Make a 30-second commercial. About anything that is of interest to you.
That's quite a cool idea.
And if you can make a 30-second commercial about any subject, could be about drones, it could be about you, it could be about anything that you're interested in, and if you can make it, you look at a commercial on the TV and get tips from that. I'll tell you what, that was a challenge I was given many years ago, and I used, in a 30-second commercial, I think I used 42 different shots.
Wow.
And then what let me down was my voiceover, because my voiceover was crap. And my choice of music was crap on it. But I got a mark 8 out of 10.
Wow, really? That's brilliant.
Because I went on this course, and that's what I got. I got 8 out of 10. But I got told my voiceover was crap. You never thought about the wording, you know. I just did it off my head, and the music wasn't right. And they're the two things that let me down to this day. I'm not very good at choosing the right type of music for my videos, and my voiceover, you know, because if I read it, if I do a script and I read it, you know I'm reading it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's true. It's like when I now when I try and do my more recent videos that I've done where I talk just to the camera, I'm not just doing like a bit of a drone video, which I'm starting to sort of enjoy more now, because I think people get to see me more and my sort of personality and things like that. But I remember when I did my first couple of videos, it was so like statue because I'm just sort of trying to read some notes I had on paper next to the camera. I tried to do it where I just kind of edit it after I've just talked to the camera, because it's a lot more fluid, it looks more natural, staged, and side of things that you mentioned, that's a massive part. When I do my drone videos, it's a huge part of it. It can take me ages to find the right track for my drone videos, and I can get frustrated because too many to choose from, or I just cannot find anything that fits or make a great video. It can do one or the other.
Yeah. Oh, this is right. You know, that's why I wish I had Crimson's ability with music, but I've never really been into you know, that, like, I don't like modern day music. Give me the Shadows or Frankie Lane or people like that from the 50s. Now that's what I call music. But nowadays, you know, I love classical music as well. But
I do.
It's having that ear to think of the shots that you've taken, what will go with that. And some people are on it do pick the right type of music to go with their videos. They do. You know, and it's like being in front of the camera. When you are doing a video, you can cut and you can get rid of your mistakes. But when you're live, you know, when I first started interviewing, I look back at my first interview with Ben at Broad's Drones. I think that was the first one I did. I was ever so nervous. Yet now when I do my interviews, I'm that relaxed. you know, and I used to make notes. Now, all right, yeah, I've got the iPad here, and I still look at the questions because I've got about 200 questions on my iPad that I could ask anybody, and a lot of people, you know, they're fairly straightforward questions. But now I've got to the stage where I don't tend to ask questions. I tend to just talk to the person and get to know the person as an individual. And guess who's just come in? My friend Brad's Drones. I've got to get him on. Definitely. Or I will go on his channel and be interviewed by him because, you know, I think he's got a fantastic, relaxing atmosphere when he interviews people. You know, I mean, he makes people ever so relaxed.
Oh, and just mentioned, actually, that's true. That piece of music on that viaduct video, I've forgotten now who it is, but it's one of these, you know, quite famous sort of pieces of music. Didn't quite realize it at the time, but it fitted so well. It made it a really kind of classy video, and that's the one that you like, Keith, the viaduct one. Yeah, that piece of music is brilliant, and I might look at using some songs like that again in the future because they're just so good.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether you watched you have watched the review show this week. That middle one, I watched his footage, and because he put songs to it, and they seem to go with that. Now, I don't know whether you watched that interview with Catfish Jones, who writes his own music.
No, I don't recognise that one.
Yeah, it's one from about 6 weeks ago, I think. Catfish Jones, I call him. And he's a musician.
Around Christmas time.
Yeah, he's a musician, writes his own songs. And I asked him on there if I could use any of his songs. So he says, yeah, by all means, as long as you leave in the comments, you know, in the description, Catfish Jones music, you know. So, and he's got quite a lot up there. And he's got, I forget, is it Facebook or whatever, where he's got a list of them. Or a website where he's got a list of them all, and he says you can use any of them as long as you give the credit to him.
So that's true.
Next time I go out with a drone, I'm going to use one of his songs.
Cool.
It's just picking the song first, and then I think where I can go and use the drone.
Yeah, I mean, I work the other way around now. I know I think I've either read comments or maybe during a live chat, I've heard people say where they choose a piece of music and then go out with the drone and then do a video based on that. But I definitely work the other way. Me, I don't know. It'd be interesting to try it that way. But yeah, I tend to choose it after. Well, what I do is I do the filming, and then what I do is I cut out all the rubbish bits, see what I'm left with, and then I get an idea for what the video might look like. And then I listen to all these different musics, and then I try and play them and look at the footage I've got and see which one looks right, which one give, because they can make a different mood. They really help the mood.
Oh, it does. Brad, if you can put a link in or send me the link to his SoundCloud, would appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look.
That's the hardest thing for drone videos is finding the right atmospheric music for them.
Yeah,
well, for any film, you know. I mean,
it doesn't have to be drone.
No, because you know I've learned over the years that the first bit is if you can pick the music out first, then you can write a script or put a video to that music. The other way around is a lot harder because you think you get the beat of the music, then you think you know how long you want shot on a particular thing. And as I say, when I first started filming, the cinematographer who taught me, and he said that the eyes blink, you don't zoom in, you actually move in, So with a drone, it's moving forward or side to side. The crane shot, and you've got to think how movies use the movement of the camera. You know, this is the thing. Now, when you look at what's on the market, you've got all these gimbals. I mean, even a drone is a gimbal. If you want to look like Aussie Matt, he put a sling in and he walked about with it as a drone, you know, as a gimbal, just you know, as a camera. So you don't have to go out and buy a gimbal. You've already got one.
Yeah, you do.
You know, it's
true.
It's only if you want to go live and you want to get like the DJI Osmo 2 to put your phone on, and then you can go live. But you've got to live in an area to go live. Like Random Life Productions lives in London. London's an interesting city. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Hold on, Brad. I will make you a moderator in my channel. So you are a moderator now in my channel, so you can leave a link in. Yeah. So
just having a quick look at the comments. It's quite hard. I hope no one's asked any questions and I've missed them. It's quite hard to keep an eye on the comments.
That's why if you've got a partner who is into YouTube, it's a lot more helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to have a look. Oh, that looks good. Yeah. I must save that in the favourites then.
Oh, yeah, Mark has said about cutting the videos to the beat of the music. Yeah, I do try and do that because I think that it's a subtle thing.
Yeah.
Even if you don't notice it, people probably will find they'll enjoy the video more. Match the beat. And I try and do that with pretty much everything really now. I do find if you can get it so it hits on the beat and changes of pleasing things to see.
Yeah.
Happen. It's really bad when, I mean, there's not many people I've seen like this, but it's more not on YouTube, it's more on forums that I've seen when people put videos of maybe the countryside and they've got some weird like dance music, and I think to myself, what? why have you done that?
Yeah, this is it. Variable asks, what are your thoughts on the new Evo and the Mavic Air?
Oh, is the new Evo that new drone that's a bit like the Mavic?
Yeah, the Autorial or whatever, however you pronounce it.
Review of it.
Yeah, I've been looking at some reviews on that. I think it's a very interesting drone. You know, I mean, I'd love to get my hands on one to test one.
It does look good. I feel like I've become one of these people now who are a bit brand loyal, though.
Yeah.
In the way that I feel like because I've had a DJI and I've thought it's been a great drone. I don't know if I would go to a different company now.
Well, after flying I'll tell you what. After flying the unique H520 of Pegasus Drone Media's, Chris, I quite like the unique. I love the unique because you can change the camera and the gimbal. You know, with DJI, you can't do that. You know, and I think that's. I think DJI are missing out on that. You know, because if you're a commercial pilot, it's handy to be able to put a different camera on. You know, where it, you know, the camera might be. You can get in closer or zoom in with the camera, whereas DJI, they haven't fetched one out where you can change the, you know, quickly.
Yeah, and it's a bit like the GoPro drone as well. That one was a great idea when that one came out because you could take the camera off and use it as just to walk around with, and that was a great feature.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, bird in the hand. Yes, we all need to work on our editing skills, but it isn't. it's your content. People think that you have to be brilliant at editing and choosing the right type of music. It's about what your content's about, and keep your viewers interested in 8 minutes of aerial footage. To me, I mean, I look at a lot of aerial footage, a lot of drone people, and the best videos are the shortest, cut to the music with different views, different angles, and with ground shots in as well. And
that's something that I'm looking at more. And I have been utilising more and more.
Go on, Andy.
Oh. Hi, Adele.
Hello, Delbin.
Del. I think, again, looking back at my old footage, drone videos, I mean, I still love drone videos, but a lot of people, I noticed, and bought it at the right time, was there was too many people doing just drone videos, but I like to sort of, so you've got who's actually controlling the drone, so you get to see the person, you get to look at the location from an eye perspective as well, and also a little bit of information. So, you know, like I did at the beginning of the year, you know, I'm telling you, you know, where I'm living, where I'm going to. There's a little bit of a story, and then the reveal is the views. And again, I'm not going. The tendency when you get a drone, you just want to go really high. You just want to go high. First by it, guys, it's cool to get footage from all different heights, and low down is actually one of the most impressive now. I'm finding, because it's a little bit more dangerous. It's like flying, you know, and you can get some great footage from lower down nowadays with the drone.
It's you know, I watched quite a few where they go low and you know, like going along a river, and then you get at the waterfall, and then they just go like the crane shot, you know. Absolutely brilliant movements there.
I think I did one.
But this is it, Andy. You know, it's if you think about the drone as a camera and the camera movements that you get, then they're the shots that are impressive, and the low down shots, the shots that are rising to the side, you know, or the reveal shots, as you say. You know, you start on your subject and then reveal it fully instead of going in. You know, they're a lot more dramatic as a filmmaker.
Variable. It's I think it's the same as the US and other places. It's 400 feet. Now, interestingly, I think this is in the US, but in a way, I don't see why it wouldn't apply in the UK. With the rule of going above, you can go above that. What you have to do is, say you've got an object like on the land, and that object is, say, even 1,000 feet. If you have a drone that can go higher than that, then I think what they're saying is you can actually go 400 feet, because again, obviously a plane can't, you know.
Yeah, it's like it's like the 500-meter rule, isn't it? You know, going out, flying outwards. You can double that if you've got two controllers, one as a slave and one as a master, because one then takes over. So you could go out 500 and the slave could go out 500. So you double the amount of thing. But that's only, you know, to me, aerial footage is only there as a means to make your video, you know, your ground shots, your vlogging style. I mean, I don't know whether you follow Matthew Way, but he's another great channel. Yeah, he's fairly new, but he's a brilliant channel.
Oh, there we go. Yes, so variable. Yes, I think that's right. Now, I don't know if it's right in the UK, but there is in the laws, in the, is it, I've forgotten now the aviation rule name, but yeah, I think that is right. And in a way it does make sense, because say if you're flying towards even like a building, or like when I flew at work, now I'm not sure exactly how high that is, but say the chimney was 400 feet. If I was 400 feet above ground level, I'm going to crash into that chimney. So I have to go above it to then fly back down again. So you are allowed, it's always, basically it's always 400 feet above kind of the land point or the object that you're flying above.
Yeah.
Which got loopholes in a way in that rule. But the tendency when you get the drone, because I did it myself when I first got my drone, I didn't really know the rules. I just thought I'll do one test and just go really high. But on videos since then, videos don't look good from that height. It's nicer to have it lower down. I generally don't go above probably 200 feet. Yeah. 250 feet, probably the max height I generally go.
Just going to say cheerio to Brad's drones. Thanks a lot for coming in, Brad. Appreciate that. Sorry about that, Andy. Carry on.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so I generally don't fly that high anymore for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dell did the same. It's true. It's just, I think it's just what everyone does. Test it now.
Yeah, but that's it. When I first got mine, you know, it was getting up as high as I could, and I thought, oh, and then it was getting as far away as I could. Now, I think about what I'm doing first, you know. Hello, Corbin Comedy. Nice to have you in the house. Sorry, Andy.
No, it was just, yeah, it's true. You just kind of get excited and you just think, oh, I want to test this thing out, because it's like a whole new, you've never seen these views before. But then quite quickly after that, now it doesn't even pop in my head when I'm like on location. I don't think to myself, oh, I want to go 400 feet in the air. Subject. So if I see a tree, I want to go around the tree. Or if I see the lake, I want to go down low and fly, you know, and so you end up getting a lot more.
Yeah. So Andy, when you go out then with your drone, does the wife come out with you as a spotter?
You know what? Yeah. Well, yeah, because we both like to go out. I mean, at the moment, because of the weather, no. But when it's the spring, summer, autumn, we always try and get out at the weekends. And that's when generally I did produce a lot more drone videos, and it's a lot more sparse now just because of the weather. But yeah, it's really good, because what she will do is, you'll see it a lot with the Cornwall video, if anyone hasn't seen it. Yeah, of me kind of walking or setting up with the drone, because she'll follow me around with the camera. Yeah, and she will do the kind of B-roll stuff for me, getting to involve her with the videos, because otherwise she does find it boring, because she's just stood there while I'm stood around for half an hour flying the drone. Yeah, that, you know, and that's why you've got to get the wife interested. So before I go, because we've been on. Yes, I was going to say, yeah, it's getting a bit late. Yeah, I was just going to ask you about your American trip, or your cruise, should I say, that you went on. I love the time-lapse footage in New York. Do you know, you see, that's a video, again, that's barely had any views. No, I know. And really, you know, it's a good video, that. And, yeah, you know, because, as I say, I always do my homework on the channel before I interview. And I've looked at, because you haven't got that many videos up, I've watched every one today. Wow. Every one. You've probably broken a record there. Yeah, and because of that, I have seen how much, especially in the last, 4 or 5 videos you've put up, how much you have improved as a videographer, YouTube creator. Yeah, and yeah, that's really, really good to hear, and I really appreciate stuff like that, those comments, because you do it. You know, don't get me wrong, I look now and I think, oh, I've done really well. But then when you do hear these comments, and I had it recently when I just done that 500 subscriber video, and people are saying, you know, your videos are really good. And it's great to hear, because you put so much effort in now, more than I used to. Like I could spend 8 hours on one video, and that's a long time.
But it's well worth it in the end, Andy.
Yeah, yeah, and it is. I do feel, you know, that it's good that shows as well, like the amount of sort of time I'm putting in. But I do love to do it. You know, I'm just growing my own knowledge, and it's become now my main hobby. It's become my main hobby now.
Anyway, because I know you've got work in the morning, and it's 10:15 now. I thank you, Andy, for a wonderful interview with you.
Thanks, Keith.
I find you very interesting. You've got a brilliant channel. I appreciate everybody else who's been in on the chat window and joining in on this live stream interview. Anybody else who'd love to come on my Time with Gramps interviews, I would appreciate just leave a comment, and I'd love to interview everyone on here. So I'm going to close the live stream down now. So I'll see you all on the next one. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.